So one of the common problems that we face is we'll get a new advisor up and going, somebody who's a center of influence, and they go to take their first app, and I hand them a phone book. It's 90 pages long, and they're looking at me and they're like, what in the world is this thing? Like, what did I just get into? And as an industry, the carriers are getting aware of this as well. I mean, the old distribution force of having your Mass Mutual, New York Life, that's going by the wayside. So we've got to make this simpler. And JT, touch on some of the ways that the carriers are trying to do their best.
Yeah, I mean, you hear all about these e-apps, and you'll see marketing emails, et cetera, of how great it is and how easy it is. But what most peers to us, other agencies, other IMOs, et cetera, they don't tell you the kind of reality of it. Some of you may have faced it, but the reality of it is about 50% of the clients that go through what is supposed to be a streamlined or easy underwriting program get kicked out for one reason or another. They're doing things like script checks behind the scenes, driving record. There's a program now, LexisNexis, that looks at publicly available information. The key is that a lot of clients get kicked out. So if you're an advisor and you set the expectation, hey, here's this awesome no exam option, et cetera, just be aware and position it that, hey, Mr. Client, there's a good chance with some of these newer programs, we won't even need to do an exam, but they kind of randomly will kick out some of them. So just be aware of that.
And some of them are getting better. Some of them talk about getting better and they're not. We'll help you navigate which carriers have got it figured out, which have not. So JT and I have personally gone through this in the last couple of months with some of our own applications. So it's something, we've got a pulse on that market, and we can help you figure out which are the real players.
Yeah, one of the best ones out there, you know, it's a little bit more expensive than kind of market rates, but you can have an answer. It doesn't mean it's going to be approval, but an answer within 2 minutes of submitting the electronic app. So that's a pretty cool program. Most of these programs will go up to $1 million depending on age, usually around age 60. 50 to 60, and then sometimes they'll taper off to 500,000. But a lot of our overfunded LERP designs, you can stuff a lot of annual contribution into $1 million or a $500,000 policy. So it is valuable, and it's just important to set realistic expectations out there.